Welcome to our another community check-in. I'm Dr. Emma Craythorne. I'm the founder of Klira, and we started up these community check-ins with members of Klira World so that we could understand our customers a bit more, that we were able to reach out and help and share and build this community. And tonight I have Andy, who's just popped on here just for the last, I'm going to say a year, although he can clarify that. And tonight we're going to be talking about his skin type, the things that he's been experiencing, and he is a skin size 4. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Hi,
Hi,
Andy.
Dr. Emma. How are you?
I'm really good, and I'm so excited that we're doing this together
It's so fun. So fun.
because you've been a member of Clara, I think, for a pretty long time. Is that right?
I have been. I absolutely have been. As soon as I saw something was coming out, I was like jumping straight on that. I was not going to miss that bus. I wasn't going to miss it.
And when was it exactly that you joined?
Oh, God.
Was it like
Ages ago. It was like at the very start, at the very, very start. And I had sort of used different prescriptive sort of brands before. And that's why do you know what? This experience with Clear is just black and white to anything I've ever tried. So that's whenever they asked, I was like, would you be on live? I was like, hell yeah, I'm there. I'm there. Let's go.
I
Do it
love
now.
well, I really appreciate it. I think people are enjoying our similar accents together. I can see some comments coming in because I'm enjoying it too. So tell me a little bit about your skin. So you're a skin size 4. So for people who are watching this and are maybe thinking about joining up for the first time, the reason why we do skin sizes is so that we can help you understand your skin a little bit more. But also it means then when we're delivering these very active ingredients, that we can deliver them in a base that is going to be really easy and tolerable for you so you can get the best out of it. So what is your skin? You're a skin size 4. So what does that mean for you,
So
Andy?
a skin size 4 for me, I'm quite oily. My skin's sort of out of control most of the time. I find it sort of hard to center everything, calm everything, but oil control, pores, redness is a massive issue that I have. And I haven't always been kind to my skin. I remember when I was younger, we used to put astringent alcohol-based toners on to the point where our skin was red. So I think now I'm 37. I'm starting to sort of, I want more. I want to see what works. I don't want that other stuff that I've tried, and I'm trying to make it work. I want the numbers. I want the figures. I want the actives. And I sort of had tried things before where, yes, there's maybe tretinoin in it, maybe there's azelaic acid, whatever it happens to be, but it just didn't communicate well. And I was because it had everything in black and white, oh, this should really work for me. It should be the one that changes everything. It just wasn't. And one thing, like they asked me to do this on Monday, and I was sort of running everything through my head, going, why wouldn't that work? Why, when on black and on paper, it should work? Why is it not? And I think, and I'm going to ask you this, it must be to do with the base and how it's communicating with my skin. Because for me at the moment, like I'm 37, I've never had skin like this in
Your
my
skin
life, but I have
is
tried things.
amazing,
Thank
Andy.
you so much. Glowing. Um, but would that be why? Would that be why that is communicating and I'm getting on so well with it? Is that the reason?
I think that's exactly right. And that's partly why I did want to make this brand in the first place. And you've honestly, in a nutshell, just explained the problems that lots of people experience. So
Yeah.
you're right. We know that, say, for example, if we're going to discuss the medicine tretinoin, we know somebody who is acne prone, who gets very clogged pores, who makes lots of oil in these skin size 4s, who in the past, have probably been, like you say, a little bit unkind to their skin, but, trying to help clear those oily areas away. So we know these skin size 4s will run into difficulty with oiliness. And we know that tretinoin is one of the best medicines that we can use to try and stop blackheads appearing, stop the breakout, stop the, the bumps and pustules that people get with acne. But the problem with is sometimes that if that is not in a base that's being delivered in a kind way to your skin, it just ends up irritating it. And what we also know then is if something irritates the skin in somebody who has a skin size 4 and it's oily, well, then actually that in itself can then tip it over and can then actually make the acne worse.
Yeah.
So it literally is, as the song says, all about the base. So for somebody like you, for example, we now know as well that if we were able to deliver our active medications in a base that has aloe in it, and there's been multiple studies that have been done for this, then we know that not only just helps and protects the skin, so it's still getting additional moisturizer, but it actually delivers more so that your skin is getting that active in a better way. Because somebody who also has a very good skin barrier, slightly thicker skin because of the oiliness, if you're not helping it to deliver to the skin, it's also not even getting past and getting in to do the job that it needs to do. So it's for two reasons. Number one, the base helps to protect your skin while it's delivering the active, but importantly, it actually also helps to get the active into the skin. So it's for those two reasons.
Yeah, because I have like everything that I've used has stayed the same. And, on paper, they all had the same sort of active ingredients. And I was like, why is my skin reacting in a completely different way to this than it was to what I was on before Klira was a thing? And that's where I couldn't, why is this working so well when the actives are similar? Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, and that is exactly right. So you've kept everything else the same because that's one of the other things that we know that for some people we need to help them out with their cleanser or their moisturizer or their SPF. And we make recommendations because genuinely some people don't really even understand how to wash their face properly. You don't strike me as somebody who didn't know how to wash your face properly. But in truth, people really don't understand the importance, especially if you have oily skin, of just cleansing the skin properly. And so we actually are able to give advice for people who have this skin size 4, just on how to cleanse the skin, moisturize, and SPF. Because other than your Klira Special at night time, you don't really need anything than those other 3. What are the 3 things that you use with your Klira Special then? What do you wash with, cleanse with, and
Do you
moisturize with?
know what? I change, my mood changes. I like a bit of SkinCeuticals. This is Simply Clean because it's just one of those cleansers. It
Yeah, and
just works.
that's
I
perfect
also,
for a skin size 4.
do you know what? I actually did take the recommendation for the Roche Posay, the Epiclar. This is gorgeous. Do you know why this is beautiful? Is because you can take it all the way down the neck, onto like the shoulders. It's not just up here. I still use La Mer after years. That's my tried and true. I still use the same eye cream. The only thing in the past year that has changed is Klira. And I have to be honest, I thought I had things right years ago. I thought this couldn't be better. Clara has blown it out of the water, but I think for me, it's just so easy. It feels like it should be harder. Do you know what? It feels like this should be harder than what it is. But yeah, for me, clear is the only thing here, and I haven't had skin like this. Like I'm 37, I'm getting to that age where I'm starting to Google Botox doctors, and you know what? I can see even, little areas here.
Yes.
I can see just smoothing out a little bit more. For somebody with oily skin, a little bit more glow and a little bit more life about my skin because it's not so red. And it's so funny because I have a friend in work, and one of those friends that just tells you like it is. And when I was on those other ones, I was like, "Oh, I'm using Tret, and this is great." And he used to say, "Your skin's a bit red. Is it a bit it's a bit red?" And I'd be like, "I'm not sitting with you at lunch, Lee. I'm not sitting with you at lunch." And it's so weird how the base of this of the Clear Special has sort of made it work for me. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I think that's exactly right. And the whole idea is it's not one size fits all. Well, it's actually kind of 12 skin sizes fits
Yeah.
all. But And so being able to find that right base, this being able to then deliver the exact right amount of, the ingredients into the
That's it.
skin is exactly then what's making the difference
Yeah.
for you. And you just touched on something there, that you're starting to see the little lines here start to come, because you will have been on it. I'm looking here to see, for about a year now. And actually you will now be starting to get those benefits, because it takes really about 6 to 9 months. I'm going to say around 9 months more, really. That's what the number is, to start to see that collagen proper shift. We can check it in the lab, and you can see it earlier on if you look into the cells, but actually in real life, it takes about that long. I'm doing a little experiment on the back of my own arms with something, and I'm now at a year with that. And it really has been in the last 3 months that you see the huge big shift in the change. So that's why you're starting to see that now.
Do you know, for my pores have always been my, I could be aging and I wouldn't even notice it, because pores were my main issue. And I sort of was looking at things over the last couple of months and looking, and I'm not even thinking about pores at the, I've moved on. That's not my issue anymore. And I'm looking at myself going, this, something's happening here. And, when I even moved my head, this is so smooth. Pores aren't even, and that would have been whenever I did the 51 questions at the start, that would have been one of my concerns. And it must have changed. It must have got better along the line, just with using it every night. It's just slowly got better and better, to the point now where that's a problem of the past. I don't experience that anymore. Do you know what I mean? I'm into greener fields.
Isn't that lovely? And you do feel this sense of freedom whenever there's something that you've been thinking about for so long with your skin, or how you perceive your skin, and then you just all of a sudden you realize, oh, I'm actually not
Yeah.
thinking, am I going to get a breakout? I'm not thinking that I'm going to flush. I'm not thinking about that.
But
It's very freeing.
it's one of those things that before Klira, before any sort of service or brand like that, you would have had your individual serums. You would have had maybe your retinol, your azelaic acid, maybe another soothing mask. And for me, with my skin type, you want to combat your oiliness, you want to take away the look of pores, you might get redness, so you're using a different serum every night, because if you use them all together, you just drying the skin. And after a while, you're in this 360 of all these different products, putting a different one every night, and you sort of feel, for me now, looking at Klira, I want it to be more, I want it to be difficult. I'm like, am I done? Is this it? Am I done? Is this what's doing it?
Should we add a few more complex things? You have to put your Clearer special on, 2 pumps, but you have to do a cartwheel and a headstand.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. But it does, to be able to have all of the actives that help the issues that I have with my skin in one product, and in that packaging, I might add, it's so funny, because I was actually watching some of the lives, and one of the things was how, sustainable the product is. But even from my point of view, I'm not going to buy those 5 serums and then thinking, what did I use last night? Because I have to use it. In terms of sustainability, it's sustainability, yes, in terms of the packaging, but it's also for me. That's my one, and that's all my actives.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I need. That's it.
And that's a really brilliant description. One and done. I love that.
Yeah, that's it. It feels like it should be, because you've done it for years and years and years of rotating all these different things and buying the next big thing and joining a wait list because it's not out for 4 weeks, to just having this one thing and having the best skin ever is just well done. Well done.
Thank you, Andy. And honestly, thank you so much for joining us for the 15-minute check-in. Honestly, it's been absolutely lovely to speak to you and just get all of the feedback. But I'm guessing the only feedback is I have to make it more complicated.
A little bit more complicated, yeah. Put in like a puzzle book or something, with the next one. Just make it a wee bit harder. It just, for me, after years of oily skin with acneic skin that you just can't control, to have something in this form, in one product, that can achieve so many different things, blows my mind.
Well, Andy, thank you so much. And thanks
Thank
to
you.
everybody else who joined as well. So, literally, the best Skin Size 4. I love this conversation.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Andy.
See you
Take care.
later.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.